Hello, it's Adrian again, and this is grade time for Unit 12. That's the last unit of the book. And this is video number 3, part 3. And it's closely connected to video number 2, in which we talked about phrasal verbs and the meaning of 8 different phrasal verbs, okay? Here in this screen, you can see lots of phrasal verbs, okay? Go, check up on, pull through, take up, stand for, fall behind, etc., etc. We're going to see some things about phrasal verbs now, okay? So the question is, what should I do if I don't know the meaning of a word? What is the phrasal verb that I use to say this? That I don't know the meaning of a word. What should I do? Look it up in a dictionary. So the phrasal verb is look something up. Is to go to dictionary and try to find the meaning of a specific word or expression. Okay, look it up in a dictionary. Yeah, so to look something up in a dictionary or encyclopedia. Well, I've lost my jacket. What can I do? Look for it. Look for it. Well, here we have 2 phrasal verbs. Look something up, or look up something, and look for something. So what is the difference between these 2 phrasal verbs? The meaning, of course, this is number 1. The first one is to look up a word or something in the dictionary, and here's to look for something that you've lost, okay? And here, as you can see, we have look it up. So it's in the middle between the verb and the preposition. And here is look for it. It's not in the middle, it's after the preposition. So that is the difference that I want to point out with you. So look at these sentences from the article on page 111. In which ones does the object go between the 2 parts of the phrasal verb? Okay, so that's the idea here. Some phrasal verbs have the possibility of having an object between the 2 parts of it, and others, it's not possible. It can't go in between the 2 parts. It has to go necessarily after the preposition. Okay, let's see these ones. Number 1, 2, and 3. I couldn't blow the candles out. Number 2. The researchers are now looking into the question of. And number 3, Grandma came to pick us up. In which ones we can put the object between the 2 parts? Take a look. Yes, number 1, blow the candles out. And number 3, to pick us up. Number 2, it's not possible to say they're now looking the question into. No, it's not possible. They have to say looking into the question. Okay, so we have blow the candles out, looking into, cannot separate, and pick us up. All right? So what is the rule here? In this rule, you have to use the words between 2 times, separated 2 times or twice, and together. So I'll give you some minutes for you to think about how to complete that rule. All right? So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Pause the video now. Okay, so we're back. So let's complete the rule together, or let's check what you have already completed. With some phrasal verbs, the 2 parts can't be what? Can't be separated. They have to be together. For example, they're looking into, not they're looking it into. They're looking into it. Yes, not looking it into. Other phrasal verbs can be separated. We can put an object between the 2 parts or after the second part. For example, he made the story up, or he made up the story. Okay, so both are possible. When we use a pronoun like him, it, etc., with a phrasal verb that can be separated, it must go between the two parts of the verb. So even though some phrasal verbs can be separated, if we use a pronoun like him, it, etc., it has to be in the middle, to go in the middle, between the two parts of the verb. So, he made it up, not he made up it. So it's wrong. It must go between, okay? And how do you know if a phrasal verb can be separated? Another, I have to emphasize here again, it's a matter of looking it up in the dictionary and memorizing it, okay? So look something up, it can be separated. Looking into something, it can't be separated. It's only a matter of practice and use and use and use, okay? All right, now let's do some exercises about it. Exercise number 2 in your book. Put the two words in order to make sentences. When there are two possible orders, write both. For example, in number 0, I can't figure out the answer, or I can't figure the answer out. So here there are two possibilities. I can put the answer between the two parts, or I can put answer at the end after the word out. Okay? So I'll give you some minutes for you to do it. Pause the video now. Okay, here we are again, and let's correct. So here you're looking at the police. So, number 1, into they, the robbery are looking. What is the correct order here? Here we have stop making up excuses. So here we have lots of words in jumbled order. Here we have a girl, candles, blue, the, she, out. Okay. Here we have some children. Pick, me, to, I, Tom, at school, up. And what is the correct here? They're looking into the robbery. They're looking into the robbery. Can I say they're looking the robbery into? No, that's the only possibility, okay? They're looking into the robbery. We have to make up an excuse. We have to make up an excuse, okay? Can I say we have to make an excuse up? No, not possible, okay? She blew out the candles. Can I say she blew the candles out? Yes, it's possible. She blew the candles out. It can go between the two parts. I need to pick up Tom at school. Can I say I need to pick Tom up at school? Yeah, it's possible. It can go between the two parts. Okay? And what about activity number 3 in your book? Complete the questions with the correct forms of the phrasal verbs. Then discuss them in small groups. Here, we're not going to discuss because it's only us, me and you. But you have to use the phrasal verbs. Look forward to, look up to, hang out, give up, pick up, and break down. Okay? If you have problems with the words hang out and give up, go to a dictionary and look it up. Okay? I'll give you some minutes for you to do this activity. See you in a minute. Okay, so let's correct activity number 3. So what would you do if your bus 10 kilometers from where you were going? So stop working because of the engine. So what would you do if your bus, what's here? From here, yes, break down. But here you have to use broke down because it's an imaginary situation. So what would you do if your bus broke down 10 kilometers from where you were going. Next one. What are you next weekend? So what are you anxious to do? What are you expecting to do? What are you looking forward to next weekend? So look forward to, okay? Number 3. Where do you like to with your friends? When you spend time with friends doing something, the phrasal verb is hang out, is to spend time with your friends doing something, okay? So where do you like to hang out with your friends? Number 4. Do your parents, you after school, go with their car and take you home? So, pick you up after school. Who is someone why do you admire this person? Here is a new phrasal verb that you haven't talked about yet, which is look up to. When you admire a person very much, and you want to be like that person, and you say, oh, I look up to my father because he's very wonderful, okay? So when you admire a person, you look up to that person. Alright? And number 6, do you easily when something is difficult? And this is a very common phrasal verb, to give up, to desist, stop doing something. So do you give up easily when something is difficult? So here you have the new phrasal verbs that we haven't seen yet are hang out, look up to, and give up. Okay? So just to wrap it up, to wrap it all up, this is another phrasal verb, wrap up, is to finish something. And to wrap it all up, we have the explanation again. So a phrasal verb is the combination of a verb with a preposition or an adverb. This creates a new verb that often has a meaning that is completely different from the verb alone. For example, the verb look means use your eyes in order to see something, but the phrasal verb look after means to take care of someone or something. Okay? Most phrasal verbs have 2 parts. I can't figure out the answer. Find by thinking. I looked for a job online. Try to find. With some phrasal verbs, the 2 parts can be separated by the object of the verb. I figured out the answer, or I figured the answer out. However, when the object is a pronoun, it must come between the 2 parts. I figured it out, not I figured out it. So when it's a pronoun, it must come between the 2 parts, okay? Number 3, in other phrasal verbs, these parts can never be separated. I looked for a job, not I looked a job for. And when do I know, teacher Adriano? When do I know which phrasal verb can or cannot be separated? It's a matter of practice and looking it up in the dictionary, okay? Number 4, to find out if a phrasal verb can be split or not, look in a dictionary. I've just said this, okay? Something means, ST means something. If it can be split, it will be listed, figure something out. If it can't be split, it will be listed, look for something after the preposition. And finally, some phrasal verbs have more than one meaning. My car broke down, stopped working. When she heard the news, she broke down, started crying. But in a way, it is a similar meaning, right? She broke down. She fell into tears. So that's it for this unit, or for this class, about phrasal verbs, part number 3. See you in part number 4. Bye-bye.